everyone, welcome back to the tower and happy New Year's Eve. Obviously it's been a while since I made a video. 2020's been crazy and I wasn't really sure if I wanted to make videos anymore for a large part of 2020, but here I am back again, ready to make content for the new year and hopefully stick with it this time, as we've all heard me say before. But whatever, we'll see how it goes. Obviously 2020 was really hard for everyone, and myself included. It was just not a good year. Nothing went the way anybody planned, and it was chaotic and crazy and emotional and rough. My mental health has definitely been in the worst place I think it's ever been this year, especially from like April until like July. Just absolute nonsense inside my head. But I'm doing a little better now, feeling a lot better about things and hoping that things are moving in a positive direction, even though we still have a long way to go. I'm just trying to have some good energy going into this new year. Obviously a lot of bad stuff happened in 2020 and I could sit here and talk about it and talk about my feelings on all the stuff that's happened, but I'm not going to. I want to take this time and this opportunity on New Year's Eve to reflect on the things that were good in my life and the positive things that did come out of 2020 for me and the positive memories that I have of 2020. So if you guys want to hear what I've been up to in 2020 and some of the good memories that I have of this very, very difficult year, stay tuned. One thing I have to just announce and say and celebrate right off the bat, even though it's going to be out of order of the rest of the year, is the biggest, best, most exciting thing that's happened to me all year and like literally in my life so far. And that would be that I got engaged. Yay! If you follow me on Instagram or if you know me in real life, you know that I have not shut up about being engaged since it happened. Sorry, not sorry about it. If you guys don't know, Adam and I have been together since 2012 and we've known each other since 2009, and so it has been a really long but happy road to get here, and we are just really excited to be taking this next step in our lives together. So yeah, I haven't shut up about being engaged, not gonna shut up about being engaged, and I'm just really excited for 2021 because we are getting married in October of next year and I'm so happy about it. And that's one of the main reasons that I want to make content in the new year. I want to talk about planning our wedding. I want to tell the story of how we got engaged, maybe talk a little bit about how we got here. I don't know. I want to make a lot of relationship related content and wedding related content in the new year because it's what's making me really happy right now, and I want to share that and talk about it. And I love wedding content even before I was engaged, so I'm gonna share some of it myself now, and that's exciting. Now that I've talked about the biggest, happiest thing that happened this year, I thought I would also go through and just talk about some other happy memories and things that I'm thankful for in 2020 despite all the craziness. So let's go back to January, which is kind of, I think, the last time that y'all saw me. In January, as you'll know if you were subscribed to this channel back then, I did Whole30 with my work friends. And I'm not gonna sit here and talk about it for too long because that's what most of my videos in January were about, but I will say that as miserable as being on Whole30 was, there were a lot of health benefits. I felt a lot better, and I definitely learned a lot about my relationship with food, and so I take it as a win, and I made it the whole 30 days without cheating, so I call it a win. And even though it was like kind of rough, it was a good way to start the year. Another really fun thing that happened in January was I finally got to ride Rise of the Resistance. I remember when Galaxy's Edge got announced at D23. I wasn't there that year, but like I watched it from home. And so to see how far that those plans have come and to actually be in the ride vehicle on Rise of the Resistance was a dream come true. It's just an incredible experience. I've done it 3 times now and it is just show-stopping and wonderful. And so yeah, I got to go. Adam and I went at like 4 a.m. the first week of January and did Rise together. We didn't even sleep, we just stayed up all night and then went to Hollywood Studios and got a boarding group, and we were home by noon and sleeping again, so that was awesome. And then I went again later in January with my work friends and did Rise a second time, and most of us were on Whole30, so like it kind of sucked because we just like ate a banana from a popcorn cart instead of eating like real food, and everything smells so good and we just ate bananas and it was really sad, but we rode Rise and had a really amazing time, so that's what matters. Also, Taylor Swift released her first incredible work of the year, which was Miss Americana on Netflix, and it was incredible and so good, and that feels like eons ago, but what a great kickoff to the other incredible work she was going to release this year. But I'll get into that. Something else that happened in that time of the year my best friend Holly asked me to be maid of honor in her wedding, which is super, super exciting. My best friend Holly is marrying my other best friend Doug, and I cannot wait to be in their wedding. So being maid of honor was really actually a blessing this year because I got to spend a lot of time talking with her about her wedding, planning. I planned her bachelorette party during quarantine. And it really kept me sane for a large part of this year and kept me looking forward to happier things during stuff that was really rough. The wedding's in April and I cannot wait. So yeah, that was another big thing that happened. In February, Holly and Doug and their daughter Ava came down and we got to go to Epcot. It's the last maskless Disney day for the foreseeable future, which is sad to think about now, but we had such a good time. March, things got weird. My work shut down and I was just at home, quarantined for all of March. Basically, I don't remember what day, but most of March we were quarantined. But thankfully, Animal Crossing came out in March and we just had an absolute blast playing Animal Crossing while all this craziness was happening. Animal Crossing was a really big part of this year for a lot of people, including me. It was a really good way for Adam and I to spend time together during quarantine. It was a really good way to stay close to my work friends as well because all of my work friends got Animal Crossing. And so we were all visiting each other's islands and sending each other little gifts and just having a really good time connecting that way. And then also Doug and Holly got Animal Crossing. Me, Adam, and Doug and Holly were having like little group sessions playing together. So thanks, Nintendo. It was a good time. From March until May, we were quarantined completely because that's when my work was shut down. So I didn't do anything outside of the house except grocery shop. My work reopened at the end of May and stayed open until the end of June. We spent 4th of July at home. We spent Adam's birthday at home, which is the 8th of July. We had a nice quarantine birthday here. We played Switch online with Doug and Holly and I think we played Smash and Mario Kart. We baked a vegan chocolate cheesecake. Adam went vegan in May, so we did a vegan birthday cake, which was a cheesecake. It was super good actually. And then we played Disney Villainous. That has been like one of our big obsessions this year. We just got it. I got it for him for his birthday and we've had so much fun playing it. But that was the first day that we played it and it was just a blast. And we've played it so many times since then. So if you haven't played Disney Villainous, highly recommend. But that was Adam's birthday. So in July, my best friend Holly came up and visited and we got to play board games and hang out. And also another really big thing that happened in July was I got to go back to Disney. That's a controversial topic and I know everyone has their own feelings on it and it is what it is. The best thing that could have happened in July was that we got to go back home. We got to go back to Disney and it was a very emotional day. I cried so many times. It was weird to be back with masks at first and with social distancing at first and with no fireworks, and some of that is still really weird to deal with when we go to the parks, but truthfully, I feel safer when I am at Disney than I do anywhere else. Going back and having the parks reopen was just emotional and joyful and wonderful. And I just can't wait for the phased reopening to continue and hopefully for fireworks to be back soon. I cannot wait to hug Rapunzel again and I cannot wait to watch Happily Ever After again. And I'm going to be an absolute mess when I get to do those two things. And then moving into August, we did our first safe, socially distanced staycation. Doug and Holly came up for Holly's birthday and we did a one-night staycation at Pop Century. Disney did a really great job of keeping everything clean and sanitized. The remotes were wrapped, like different things were like individually wrapped in a way that you knew they had been sanitized. We did Hollywood Studios and Epcot and just had a really nice time. Got to be all together. It was the first time I'd seen Doug in months, like since February, and it was just so good to like be back with my best friends and for the four of us to all be together, so it was a really wonderful time. Big thanks to Holly for inviting us on her little birthday staycay. It was a blast. The end of August was my friend Jimmy's birthday and we had Jimmy Fest, which was a really good time as well. Nothing crazy, just my work friends who again get tested weekly. We just went to dinner at an outdoor location and celebrated his birthday, and then we played games in his apartment. So we had a really nice time and it was just a really good weekend with people that I care about. Going into September, my work fully reopened again after the closure in June, and that was really, really amazing to be back at work, which sounds wild. But being back at work in September was just an absolute delight. It was so great and so good for my mental health to be back. But before I could be back at work, I had my approved time off for Adam and my anniversary. And as I previously mentioned, that's when we got engaged, which was super awesome. Actually, I don't know if I mentioned that it was during our anniversary, but yeah, it was our 8-year anniversary. He proposed the night before our 8-year anniversary, and I had the whole week off of work, and I got to just spend time with my new fiance and go to the parks and just celebrate. We had a couple nice dinners at resorts, and it was just really nice to celebrate and FaceTime with our families and friends and tell them about the engagement. The second best thing that happened all year, in October, we did Holly's bachelorette weekend. One of the most magical things about this process was that we originally booked a stay at All Star Movies, and by the end of it, by the time it was time to check in, we were staying at the Yacht Club because so many resort openings got pushed back. We transitioned through like 4 different resorts throughout this process because we went from staying at All Star Movies to staying at Art of Animation, and then Art of Animation got pushed back. So they moved us to Caribbean Beach, and then they moved us from Caribbean Beach to Coronado, and then Coronado was full apparently or something. I don't even remember at this point. And they moved us from Coronado to Yacht Club, and it was wild. It was such a good time. We had a little get together at Disney. We had some good food, good drinks. We got to go to Stormalong Bay, which I always heard Disney fans talk about, and to me it seemed overrated. Like, I just could not imagine that a pool was just this incredible. No one is overhyping Stormalong Bay. Stormalong Bay is truly one of the best Disney experiences I've ever had. We had so much fun. We were at the pool like for the entire day. We got breakfast at Ale and Compass, had some drinks in the room, and then we went and stayed in Stormalong Bay until evening when we went to dinner. Cannot recommend that enough. I'm so sorry that I ever thought it was overhyped. It was incredible. I can't wait to be back there. Also, I got to check another Disney resort off my bucket list. Also never stayed on the Epcot Resort Loop before, so that was really awesome also. But really, it was just a great time to celebrate my best friend and to have some girl time because our now fiancés are best friends as well. We tend to do things as a little pod of the 4 of us and don't get a lot of time to just go hang out the 2 of us. So even though some of her other friends were there also, it was just a really nice time to like have girl time. Even though it was not what maybe we had always imagined because of COVID, because so many things that I had hoped to do were not possible. Like, I wanted to do a fireworks dessert cruise, and I wanted to do a Halloween party, and I like had all these big ideas from before she was even engaged of just things that we thought we would do for our own bachelorette parties, and most of them were not possible, but it was still just really magical. Like, we saw character cavalcades, and she had on her veil ears, and like Belle made like heart hands at her, and they like talked from the float, and Belle's her favorite princess, and it was just like a really emotional moment. There's no better way to celebrate anything than being at Disney, and so I'm really happy that we got to do that, even though this year was crazy. And then in November, it was my birthday. It was not my favorite birthday of all time because my favorite things to do on my birthday were pretty much canceled between election anxiety and so many of my favorite activities not being possible. It was a weird birthday, but I still felt super loved. I got to spend time with people that I love and still do some things that I love. So not a bad birthday, just not the best birthday. We went to Magic Kingdom on my actual birthday. We did a couple of my favorite rides, and then honestly, my birthday was election day. It was November 3rd, so I was just really anxious, and I was like, let's just go home. I watched my favorite episodes of The Office for most of the day. We got Chili's takeout, which I love Chili's. Chili's is one of my favorite places to eat. I'm trash, it's whatever. And Chili's also lets you get margaritas to go, so I got a couple margaritas, some takeout. We watched The Office and watched election results roll in, and it was evident that we were not gonna know who was president that night, so that anxiety kind of spanned my entire birthday week. We went to Magic Kingdom one day, we went to Animal Kingdom one day. Our best friends came up for a couple days, and we went to Epcot with them on the day that they got here, and then we went to Geyser Point in the evening. If you haven't been to Geyser Point Wilderness Lodge, it is 10 out of 10, especially during COVID, because it's outside, it's socially distanced. The entire bar is outside, and you're surrounded by trees and nature, and it's just really peaceful and wonderful. We've been there 3 times this year. It's phenomenal. So we did that and just like hung out and got drinks. The Saturday of my birthday week, which was the day that the election results were called, Holly and I woke up and were like watching Superstore, and like they called it that it was Biden. We had a little mini celebration in our apartment. Holly and I woke both of the guys up and were like screaming that we had a new president. It was a good time. And then that afternoon, my work friends came over. We played Jackbox and had such a good time. And then we went to dinner at CityWorks, which is one of my favorite restaurants on Disney property, and it was just a really magical way to cap off my birthday. Had a couple Epcot days in the fall and winter with my work friends. Going into December, Doug and Holly came back down. We did a Disney Springs day with them, another Epcot day with my work friends. I also, throughout the course of this, over the course of September to December, got to ask all of my bridesmaids to be in the wedding, and that was really magical. I did the same thing in my Instagram recap. I don't even know why I keep forgetting. Taylor Swift released not one but two life-changing albums this year, and not one but two like documentary style films. Like we got Miss Americana in January that I mentioned, and then we got Long Pond Studio Sessions for Folklore, and then we also got Folklore and Evermore, and just what a life-changing person. Folklore is one of the best albums of all time. Evermore's phenomenal. I love it. They're both incredible. She's incredible. I don't know what else to say. In case anyone was wondering, even though no one asked, my favorite song from Folklore is Cardigan, and my favorite song from Evermore is 'Tis the Damn Season. Also, Adam got me the cardigan for Christmas, and it should be here eventually. Shipping's taking a long time, but it'll be here eventually, and I'm super excited to wear it and be an obnoxious Swiftie forever. So, also the Jonas Brothers released that Chasing Happiness documentary. Nope, not Chasing Happiness. Jonas Brothers released that documentary. I think that was in February? God, feels like a million years ago. And What a Man Gotta Do. I realized yesterday that that was a 2020 release. Unbelievable. In conclusion, 2020 sucked in so many ways, and it also had a lot of wonderful moments. And as we are here at the end of it, I can honestly just say how thankful I am for the people that are in my life and the people that helped me get through this year and that I love so much and that kept me laughing and kept me sane. God knows Adam put up with more mental breakdowns than any one person should have to deal with in here. But also all my friends as well just kept me laughing, and it was a really good time for parts of the year. So amidst the chaos, it was a good time. That is my 2020 recap. It was messy and all over the place, just like the actual year was. So cheers to that. That is all from me for today. I hope you guys have a really happy and safe New Year's Eve, and that 2021 brings magic and happiness and just a lot more good energy compared to this year, and that it's filled with just good things for everyone, because we all deserve it after surviving 2020. Happy New Year, everyone. Stay safe, and I will see you soon. Have a magical day. Bye.